Hey everybody, Christopher Small here from CMS Law Firm, back to talk to you about some more will stuff. We talked about yesterday, I think, what the heck is a will, or what does a will do? And today I wanted to talk to you about what one of the biggest limitations of a will is. Okay, so if you remember yesterday, or whenever you're listening to this, it's the one before this. If you're not listening to this actually today, if you're listening to it tomorrow, it's the one right before this that talks about wills. But I mentioned that, wills are really great and they're necessary, particularly if you have kids, okay? I mean, they're necessary if you don't have kids, but one of the biggest things that a will does is name your long-term guardians. So if you don't have a will and you don't name your long-term guardians, then a judge is going to make that choice. And we all know that person. We all know that family member or that couple in our lives that look really great on paper. They would be like the poster child for guardians if a campaign was run. But in real life, you would never want them to raise your kids, right? Either because of some child rearing philosophy that they have that you've seen, that they're just not very nice people behind closed doors, or that they just simply have some different philosophical values than you, whether it be education or religion or political or money, whatever those things are, that you just don't really want them to be your guardians. With the will, when you name the guardians, they stay. Those people are the guardians. They are the presumed guardians. So unless they don't qualify because they're like a felon or something crazy, then they're going to be the ones. There's no challenging. Okay, but I sort of hinted last time that there was a limitation of a will, and I want to talk about that today. And one of the things that the will does specifically is it outlines who gets your stuff. And the way the will works is whoever you sort of point out or allocate as getting your stuff, when you die, after the probate process is done, they actually just get your stuff. And the same thing applies if you have kids. So let's say you have a 6'4" and a 2-year-old like I do right now, and my wife and I die, and all of our assets sort of get chopped up amongst the 3 kids, which is sort of what would happen. We have the solution that I'm talking about, but then as each of them turned 18, or if you did like a little bit of planning, like 21, probably at the latest, then they would just get a check, right? The will would distribute their share of the estate to them in full. So if you had $3 million, so for me, for example, if our estate was $3 million, when Blakely turned 21 or 18, she would get a check for $1 million. Yeah. Most of the people that come into my office, when I tell them that or point that out, and they have kids, they are not excited about that. Often, they are not excited about that, no matter how old their kids are, whether they're 6 or 12 or 18 or 24 or 30 or 36 or whatever. They're not really excited about handing anyone a check for that kind of money. And there's some valid reasons behind that. I think it's something like 85% of all inheritances are spent within 18 months. I think it usually takes like 30 or 45 days from getting an inheritance to like going and buying a new car. Like at the end of the day, the fact is we're not really great with found money, right? Money that we haven't earned tends to leave us faster. And in the context of younger people in particular, it's not so much whether or not they are good people. It's really the idea that there are a lot of bad people out there that are looking to take advantage of people with money that don't necessarily have the street smarts or the experience or the education to know when shady opportunities are sort of presented to them, all right? So this is, by the way, we are into the lesson. This is the biggest limitation of a will. There are other limitations of the will, and we will talk about those in the future, but this is probably the biggest one, particularly if you have kids, okay? Because what you're looking at here is, outright distribution with no oversight, with no help, and likely that the money is not going to really be used for what you want it to be used for. So with me, My assets, I want them to be used to sort of present an opportunity for my kids to sort of pursue their passions and pursue their dreams and like live a good life and be good people and do all these things, right? In my perfect world, that's what this money is used for. Hopefully I'm there to help shape that and show them that and do that for them. That's why I got into estate planning, right? I had kids and like this stuff immediately became real. Legacy became real. The idea of utilizing my assets for future generations and to help make their lives better and again, just give them opportunity. There's nothing worse than having someone have a special talent or a special gift and them not being able to pursue it just because they don't have the resources to do that. And I wanted to be able to do that. But with a will, there's a strong chance that you would lose that opportunity because the money would just go to the person and then it would be up to them to sort of make sure that things happen correctly. So, if you are interested in sort of longer term management oversight, help with those assets for anyone, whether they're under 18 or over 18, then a will is not going to do the trick. Whatever the will says, that distribution is done immediately, okay? There's no holding on to that money for a long time. There's no putting someone else in charge of it. There's no nothing. They get a check. That's it. Bada bing, bada boom, it's done, okay? Now there is a solution to that, right? The solution is pretty simple. It is called a revocable living trust. And the revocable living trust allocates all of your assets into a specific sort of bucket, is the way that I describe it. You put somebody in charge of the bucket, or the box, is the way I usually describe it. Put somebody in charge of the box. You set the rules for the box, and then they manage whatever is in the box for your beneficiaries, which is typically your kids. So in the event they go to college, for example, and they live on a campus where they need a car, and they don't have a car, they would go to the trustee and they would say, trustee, I need a car for college. I would like a Ferrari. And the trustee would say, you're crazy, but you can have a Jeep. Right? And they would get a Jeep, right? And so all that other money is still there for them to be able to use it. Another good example of how this can help and how a will can really hurt is, there's this money for them, allocated for them. If they have it in their pocket and a great business opportunity presents itself for them, which can have 100% return in 30 days, and they try to utilize that opportunity or take advantage of that opportunity in real life, the chances of that working out are small, right? But if there's somebody in place that can help them sort of see the angles and that has been around the block, then they can provide some guidance to them, get additional information, do a little bit more vetting, do a little bit more due diligence, and then try to find a solution that works. For example, there's a reason why so many pro athletes go broke. It's not because they're bad people. It's not because they blow all their money, honestly. It's because they invest in really terrible business opportunities because they don't have the sophistication, they don't have the wherewithal to recognize when bad opportunities present themselves, and they end up investing in super risky schemes and ideas that don't pan out, So they don't understand that, if you have $1 million and you get 5% interest, that you're just pocketing 50 grand a year on that, right? Over and over and over again. They're looking for bigger returns, but they don't understand that there are conservative, safe things that you can do that can make you a tremendous amount of money. But I digress. Okay, these are all side conversations. But anyway, that's the whole point, okay? There's one thing that a will can't do, long-term oversight and management of your assets. If you want to do that, you need to look into a revocable living trust. All right, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this video or got anything out of it, please hit the like button. Maybe leave me a comment and say, hey, I got a lot out of this. If you have any questions based on what I said, please put them in the comments and I will answer them. If you, what else? Oh yeah, if you know someone that might benefit from this information, please share this video. You can either share it to your own page, or you can just type their name into the comments below and they'll get a notification that they've been commented on and they can come check this out. All right. So to sort of sign off, once again, I am Christopher Small. I'm the owner of CMS Law Firm. We do estate planning and probate, and I really appreciate your time, and I will see you again soon. Okay?